Hey, fifth graders.
Hi, fifth graders.
Whoa, that was a big,
breeze.
Whew. You can see
Rafa's.
Rafa's. We opened the window because it was getting very hot in here.
Yes.
And it's really breezy outside. It feels so nice, but
It does.
we've got like
That
glowing
distracted
curtains.
us.
That's distracting. Okay, I'm sorry, fifth graders. Welcome to the TV classroom.
Welcome. We're happy to have you. We've had our social emotional lessons have been fourth and fifth grade. And as Mrs. Wally pointed out with our fourth graders, we have you by yourselves this
Which
time.
is great.
It is great.
I love it.
Mhm.
So friends, before we get going into learning about our hurdles and playing a brain game, first check in with your zone. It's important to know where you're at so you know how you can participate today. Miss Oslin,
Yes.
are you okay?
Great. I'm kind of in the greedy yellow zone.
I would say more yellow than green, but that's okay. You get to decide what zone you're in.
I think that I will be able to focus enough to get our work done, but I am feeling rather silly this afternoon.
It's gonna make for a fun TV show today.
It is. How are you feeling?
Well, I'm in the blue-green zone.
Oh, okay.
I fell and hurt my shoulder. It's hurting my mask. It feels much better now, but it was hurting my ears and it's just loose, and sensory stuff makes it really hard for me to focus. And it just puts me in the blue zone. But my emotions are in the green zone and my brain is in the green zone.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
So that's good. It's just like some physical stuff that's bothering me, but I'm good to go. I'll be fine. And it's the end of the day. And I'm also a little bit silly at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So this could be a fun one, fifth graders.
Ooh, get ready.
Mr. Kevin, how are you feeling today?
I'm in the green-yellow zone as well, feeling pretty good.
Yeah.
After a long day of hard work at the TV station.
Yes,
Yeah.
It's been a long day, but we're doing it.
We're doing it.
It's gonna be fun. All right, fifth graders, here we go. It's time to play a brain game.
And we've played this brain game
3 times.
3 times already. And it's different every time we play it.
And it gets sillier and funnier every time too.
It does. This brain game is called What's the Story? And the purpose of What's the Story is for us to help practice our, ready for these big words? Cognitive flexibility.
Cognitive flexibility? I wonder what that means. Fifth graders, do you know what cognitive means? I bet you've heard it a lot. It's the thinking and processing of thoughts. And flexibility.
Flexibility.
What does that mean, Miss Oslin?
Flexibility is like when your body is flexible, it can move in different ways.
Oh, so we can take a situation and think of multiple ways to handle it.
Yes.
Great.
Exactly. So this game is going to help us with that. And this is important because when we are overcoming hurdles or learning new material, things like that, we have to have cognitive flexibility because there's more than one way to solve a problem.
And one of the ways might not work. The consequences might not be ones you're willing to accept.
Exactly. So you need to think about, if I do this,
then
this will happen. Am I okay with that?
And as we're doing this game, if I say this, I need to make sure I'm leading it so my partner has something else to say.
Yes, and so it doesn't derail the game.
Which, with the fourth graders, you could go watch the fourth grade one. It was pretty funny.
All right, so in this game called What's My Story, we start with one line of a story. And so I will start with one line of the story, and then Mrs. Wally's job is to tell the next line of the story, and then Mr. Kevin, and then me. And we'll just keep going until either there's really nowhere for the story to go or it ends. The story ends.
It's always ended.
It has. We've done a pretty nice job of that. And the cognitive flexibility comes in that Mrs. Wally and Mr. Kevin don't know what the person before them is going to say.
No, and so I might be taking the story in one direction, and then Miss Allison's going to say something, and I'm going to have to rethink my idea. Or Mr. Kevin says something after me, I'm going to have to rethink what I was thinking. So I don't want to get too far ahead of myself in my thoughts.
No.
I do that a lot.
Yes. And so this is a really fun game that you can play with your people at home.
Around the dinner table.
That would be really fun. With your friends at school, with your siblings, which I guess might be your people at home. I don't know. Here we go. Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay. When I got to TV classroom today, there was an elephant standing In our classroom,
Right there in the middle?
right in the middle.
So I walked up to it and examined it closely. I felt to see if it was breathing, and I could feel the inhale and exhale on the belly of the elephant.
And the elephant turned to me and said, "Well, am I real?"
And I said, I think so. What are you doing here? How did you get in the door?
And before the elephant could respond, I thought to myself, why is there a talking elephant? And it said, oh, well, last night I just wandered in here to see if there was anything to eat.
And there was something for the elephant to eat because Mrs. Wally had left out a tray of her famous cinnamon rolls on the table, which she noticed were gone.
And the elephant said, so I was able to walk in the door, but then after I ate all the cinnamon rolls, I couldn't fit to get back out. So I thought I would just stay the night.
Well, would you like to be a special guest on the TV classroom today?
I'd love that, said the elephant, whose name is probably Henry or Gulliver. We weren't sure. Oh, it could have been Mabel.
That was me not allowing Mr. Kevin to have cognitive flexibility.
Ms. Oslin.
I apologize.
That was very suggestive.
No, I apologize. So I think that's the end of our story.
Nice job, teachers.
Yeah. So you'll notice that it's really hard playing those games too, not to try to lead the person before you.
It is, and allowing them time to think. And I loved the cinnamon rolls. I need to make those again.
Yeah.
But that wouldn't be very nice because
No.
Mr. Kevin would eat it. So
I know.
no cinnamon rolls for
No
us.
cinnamon
Probably
rolls.
better for our health anyway.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have been learning all about hurdles on the path to teamwork.
right.
We've learned all about interrupting, blaming others, excluding others, discussion problems,
Hurtful words.
and revenge. Ooh. We learned about some ways to handle hurtful words.
So hard when hurtful words are said,
Yes,
and it hurts.
it does.
And to then respond in a way that's appropriate.
Yes, and because we learned that just because we say sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt
It
me,
actually hurt me more.
that's not true. I mean, what I was saying wasn't true,
Right.
obviously.
Right. But it actually sometimes leaves more damage
Yes.
that lasts longer.
Yes.
And so learning how to handle those at a young age
Mhm.
and how to respond appropriately and get your feelings across in a way that is productive, in a way that helps mend relationships is a skill that you will use forever.
Yes. So one of the ways that we have talked about to handle hurtful words is to tell the person to stop.
Now, there's a way to tell a person to stop, and there's a way to not tell a person to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Like if Miss Oslin said something to me, I don't know, what would you say that would be hurtful?
I don't.
Like,
I can't even. I don't wanna.
Mrs. Wally, your cinnamon rolls are gross.
Oh.
They're not. But
They're not. But if I did say that,
I don't go, stop it, Mrs. Oslin. That's going to perpetuate the cycle of hurtful words because I said it in a hurtful way because I was hurt. We have to know when to step back, use the feelings thermometer, get cool, and then tell them to stop. So it might look like this. Say it to me.
Mrs. Wally, your cinnamon rolls are gross.
Well, I'm sorry that you feel that way, but can you not make fun of the way my food tastes?
I apologize. I didn't realize that would hurt your feelings.
Thank you. I accept it. Is there a way I could make them taste better to you?
No, I think I just need to not use hurtful words
Okay.
because they really are delicious.
See how that worked?
So, teachers,
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Kevin.
in the heat of the moment, That's where we get into trouble, isn't it?
Yes,
Yes.
it's when we don't step back and use the feeling thermometers and get the stay cool steps.
So we have to really, those stay cool steps are super important, even if
Super.
it kind of feels silly to do.
Yes.
In the heat of the moment.
Yep.
You got to step back, because if somebody told me my cinnamon rolls didn't taste good, I'd say, well, yeah, your hair looks funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's so easy to do.
It
right?
is.
Yeah.
And it's one of those skills that takes practice, and that you're always.
I'm still practicing
I'm
it.
still practicing it, and I am almost 36.
Yeah.
So it's something that's not easy to do, and we are not expecting you to be experts in it. But we're trying to help you learn it now so that you can avoid some really painful things later on in life, right? Because when you get a job, if your boss says something that hurts you, you don't get to insult them back, because then you get fired, right? So you have to know how to step back, get calm, and then approach the situation appropriately.
Because I had to use this earlier this week with Mr. Oslin.
Oh, you did?
I just got really irritated. Do you know what it was? I was hungry. I know that now. But I only know that because I was able to stop, say, I feel like I'm losing control. I walked out of the room, did some deep breathing, and then I was able to come back and, first of all, say, I started to get irritable because I'm hungry, so I need to solve that problem.
Yep.
And then we can have a conversation about this when I'm not hungry.
Right. You know, it brought up an idea of what happened with me yesterday with Oliver. He was having a really hard day. And I still don't really know why. He might have been hungry, but I gave him food. But he was doing all the things he shouldn't be doing. He was looking at us and then doing it because he knew he wasn't supposed to. And you know what we did? Took him up to his bedroom. I turned on some calming music. I turned off the lights, and we just snuggled. And he got calm. And then we were able to come downstairs, and he had some dinner. And that didn't fix the problem. So then he went to bed, and he went right to sleep. He was tired.
He was tired. Yep.
But I was able to help him go through the stay cool steps of removing himself, getting reset, getting calm. Yep.
Another thing, also, another strategy that we could use is to ignore it once. Hurtful words we can ignore once.
It would look like this.
Mrs. Wally, your cinnamon rolls are gross. Then I have
Took
nothing.
all the power out of that, didn't I?
I have nothing to do but to, well, all right. Right? We could also make a joke.
Okay.
Mrs. Wally, your cinnamon rolls are gross.
No, I didn't bake them long enough. They were so doughy on the inside. I'm so sorry you had to eat those.
And see, we had a good chuckle about it.
Yep.
We could use self-talk, and that might sound like, Mrs. Wally, your cinnamon rolls are gross.
Okay. She thinks they're gross. That's her opinion. She's allowed to have her opinion. I think they're delicious. So, oh, sorry you feel that way. I won't bring one for you next time.
And then that would be a consequence of having
I don't want
hurtful
to eat
words.
my gross cinnamon rolls.
No, that's true.
I'll make them for somebody else.
There we go. And then, of course, we have stop and stay cool.
Maybe I worked really hard all night long and I got up early. And so,
Mrs. Wally, your cinnamon rolls are gross.
I feel like I'm losing control. I need a minute. And I might say something like I did before with self-talk. She might have thought they were gross. I worked really hard. She's allowed to have her opinion. It's not a reflection on me. It hurt my feelings. I need to let her know that it hurt my feelings. Okay. Miss Oslin, when you told me my cinnamon rolls were gross, it really hurt my feelings because I worked really hard on them. And you're allowed to think they're gross, but next time, can you just keep your opinions about my food to yourself?
Mrs. Wally, I didn't know it would hurt your feelings. I thought I was being silly. Thank you for letting me know. Next time, I won't tease you about anything.
Oh, thanks, Miss Oslin. See how that works? And she might have just been joking, thinking like, haha, your cinnamon rolls, they were gross.
Yeah.
Not really meaning they were gross.
No.
But was just joking. But see how, I hit my microphone. Sorry, Mr. Kevin. see how I didn't take it as joking? And that's where that really sensitive line, if she wasn't meaning to be mean, but I took it as mean teasing, right? And so that's that fine line of knowing each other. And Miss Haslam would never tell me my cinnamon rolls were gross.
Never.
Unless she had a suggestion on how to make them even better than they already were.
And I wouldn't. And Mrs. Wally already demonstrated laughing it off, right? Where you were like, oh, I totally undercooked them. I'm sorry about that. We had a good
time I'll cook them better.
Yes.
I used rubber instead of dough.
Or like switching the sugar and the salt.
Oh, that would be that'd be bad. You know, the last batch of cinnamon rolls I made actually wasn't for TV Classroom. It was when it snowed, and I miscalculated my butter, and I put half the amount of butter I was supposed to in the bread. My neighbors were like, they're so good. And I'm like, you're lying. They were not as good as they normally are. My husband said, Mr. Wally, he goes, I mean, they're fine. They're not like they normally are.
That was a nice way to put it.
It was.
Yeah. And then once you've done some of your stop and stay cool steps, you can stop and think about what to do next, which could include playing with other friends who treat you nicely.
Right. If she doesn't like my cooking, then I'll cook for somebody else who does like it.
Firmly stand up for yourself. Tell them to stop.
That's what I did after I stopped and stayed cool. I told her I was losing control, stood up for myself. That was a brave thing to do. It's really hard to tell someone that they hurt your feelings because it puts you in a really vulnerable spot. And so it takes a lot of bravery to go up to someone and say, you hurt my feelings, and I need you not to do that. But it's actually a really healthy thing to do. And it's important, if you're the person on the receiving end of that, to take that seriously and listen. Not take it as a criticism and apologize.
And I've heard recently a saying that it's not up to you to decide how someone else feels.
That's correct. Notice I said Miss Austin's allowed to have her opinions about my cooking. I have to choose to not let that affect me.
Even if I didn't mean for it to hurt her feelings, I don't get to decide that it didn't hurt her feelings.
Right. It's the person whose feelings they get to decide.
And then if none of that is going to work, we can get help.
Let's say she just keeps doing it. She's like, but they were awful. You should feel bad. Right? Then I can step away and just say, okay, and then go get some help. Which sounds like, so-and-so, I need some help solving a problem. Can you help me brainstorm some ideas? Or, I need help. I've been teased over and over, and now it feels like bullying. Saying that word is really important.
It is. And so now we're going to have a teacher moment where I'm going to say, I think that was really important, and we don't have time for the rest of our lesson.
Are we? Oh, no.
Yeah. So that was a really good review of everything that we've done. So,
we're just going to move on, and it's okay. Teacher moments happen, friends.
So today we did a lot of reviewing about strategies for when we feel like we want to blame others.
It's hard.
Yeah. To help us stop and stay cool. Or when we feel like someone's using mean words.
Right. And I think that's where we get into the most trouble.
I think so too.
As adults, as students, is when we feel hurt, the first natural thing that comes up is to hurt back.
Yep. That revenge.
Yep. And we have to stop that right in its tracks.
So today, your assignment is to think about what are you going to do the next time someone uses hurtful words either to you or to someone around you.
Yep.
Because it's going to happen.
And it's going to happen more and more as you get older and older. And you have to decide how you're going to react and use that cognitive flexibility to think about your options of reaction and then choose the one that you're okay with the consequences of.
And you can post that on our Flipgrid.
We would love it. We have lots of students watching our Flipgrid.
We do.
But no one's been brave yet.
Not yet.
But they will be. Be brave. Post a Flipgrid so that we can have a conversation with you. It's a way to interact with us.
Yes. If you're not comfortable posting on Flipgrid, which is absolutely acceptable and normal, Mr. Kevin's going to tell you how you could send us your thinking about what you could do the next time someone uses hurtful words.
That's right, fifth graders. Just head to your laptop and type in this email address, tvclassroom@tacoma.k12.wa.us. We will not make you eat a bad cinnamon roll. I guarantee it.
We will not.
And you can also send something in the regular mail, TV Classroom, 601 South 8th Street, Tacoma, Washington, 98405.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin. Now it's time for our affirmation. This is the time of the day when we get to say positive things about ourselves before we go off to do our independent work. And today I think it's important to remind ourselves that we can be brave and stand up for ourselves.
Yes. It's so hard to do.
It's so hard to do it.
We say it like it's easy. As we teach it, it's not.
It's not.
Even adults really struggle to do
That's
this.
true. So let's all take a deep breath and say our affirmation. I can be brave and stand up for myself. Excellent job today, 5th graders. We hope you have a great rest of your day, and we look forward to seeing you back here next time in our TV classroom.
Bye, friends. See you on Flipgrid.
Mr. Kevin's going to make fun of himself now.
Rules. 1. You have 10 seconds to pick your crewmate. 2. A new timer will appear with an exercise for the crewmate you picked. 3. You will get points for each correct crewmate and exercise you choose. 4. You will get bonus points if you find Maui's hook. 5. If you pick the imposter, you will lose all your points. 6. Use your math skills to see how many points you can get. Good luck.